we seeking any authorization from Congress for any land attacks on cartels in Venezuela?
For any what?
For any land attacks on drug cartels in Venezuela?
I wouldn't mind telling them, but it's not a big deal. I don't have to tell them. It's been proven. But I wouldn't mind at all. I just hope they wouldn't leak it. You have people leak it. They are politicians and they leak like a sieve. But I'd have no problem doing that.
So we entered a sovereign nation, kidnapped their leader. That is an act of war with zero congressional approval.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So the massive news is that President Trump just confirmed a large-scale strike in Venezuela to capture President Maduro. So what is the problem with that? So the problem is Congress was allegedly notified after the fact. This isn't just news, it's a constitutional crisis. Look, as a commentator, I have to be direct. Military action on foreign soil to execute an arrest warrant without congressional approval is a massive overreach. It's a dangerous precedent that lets one person decide when we have to go to war, full stop. In fact, let's hear what others have to say. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
The U.S. just invaded Venezuela and kidnapped its president, Nicolás Maduro. Now, it's been a while since I was in the 8th grade, but I seem to remember you needed authorization from Congress to invade a sovereign nation and kidnap its leader. And say what you want about Bush and Cheney, but at least they had the decency to get Colin Powell to go out there and lie to the American people about WMDs before they invaded Iraq. And as stupid as it was for the U.S. Congress to authorize the invasion of Iraq, they did it, which at least in the eyes of the U.S. Constitution made it legal. Here, impeachment doesn't even cover this anymore. We are in straight up war crimes tribunals at the Hague territory. But if there is an upside for Nicolás Maduro, it's been well established by now that all he has to do is cut Trump a check, and he'll get pardoned for anything, just like Trump pardoned the former president of Honduras, Juan Hernandez, who was sentenced to 45 years in prison for running a drug cartel until Trump let him out. Today is going to be crazy. Stay tuned.
Donald Trump, did you get authorization from Congress to attack Venezuela, to start a war, to kidnap their president? Did you speak with the Gang of 8 and let them know this was your intent and get any feedback from them before you did this? And Donald Trump, clearly you're on Fox News this morning saying anybody that was questioning what you did is weak and some other negative words that I'm not going to say on TikTok because I don't like those words. Donald Trump. No, you did not. You started a war with Venezuela without congressional approval. You kidnapped the president of Venezuela and his wife without discussing this with Congress. And by the way, I'm no fan of Maduro. Maduro is not a good person. There's nothing good about Maduro. That's not the point. The point is, do you have the right? Do we have the right? And did you follow the proper steps? The answer is you did not. So my other question is, why did you pardon President of Honduras, Juan Hernandez, when you've charged Maduro with the same things that he was charged with and you pardoned him? Why is that? But Donald, yes, we are going to question what you did because you don't have the right to do it. And Donald, go ahead and tell everybody the truth. It's about the oil. It has nothing to do with all these other things you've made up. None of those are true. Love to hear from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, and my burned LA ups. You have to get approval from Congress, Donald. Yes, you do. I know you think you're a king and you don't have to, but you do.
No authorization. No vote, no Congress. This is what an illegal war is. The United States cannot do military strikes on Venezuela just because Trump wants that to be done. That's not how it works. That's illegal. And people like Brad Sherman, when you said weeks ago there may be legal justification going after those oil tankers in Venezuela, you're part of the problem, Brad. You're a dino, a Democrat name only. You do not care about what's right. You care about appeasing Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a criminal and he's committing an illegal war. Full stop, I oppose this. We're done.
Oh yeah, I just realized something about this whole Venezuela thing because I'm so nerve dead to it all. But yeah, so the president approved a strike on Venezuela. And by his words, I've heard nothing that says it's not true, has kidnapped the president of Venezuela, Maduro, and his wife. Now, one, I want to point out the lack of congressional approval, which I'm pretty sure with the capture of the wife and the president probably constitutes some issues there, as well as whoever did the actual assault and capture probably should be also court-martialed, because I'm pretty sure without congressional approval, all of this is illegal. But we're going to put that to the side. And I'm going to ask anybody who, for whatever fucking reason, is still defending that words I shall not say. What would happen if a foreign country bombed the capital of the U.S. and kidnapped the president? Other than us being happy, in a world where we like our president, what would happen? What would that constitute? What would the world think? What would America think? But it's not. It's us doing it to Venezuela with one of the worst presidents in history. Literally the word, he started his last term, he wasn't the worst president in history. You know what? Kind of is now. So, there's that.
Just in case it's not clear, forcing a strike on a sovereign nation and capturing, forcibly, kidnapping their president and first lady is a full-on invasion, not even an act of war. It's an act of war. That's not a declaration of war. It's just an invading, occupying force. And that's what the United States of America just did to Venezuela. So that's where we're at. We're in full-blown imperialistic dictator phases. So how are those gas prices? Cool.
So the answer to this, dear people, is very, very messy. So the Constitution gives Congress the power to declare war in Article 1 and the President the power to command in Article 2. So to try and bridge that gap, we have the 1973 War Powers Resolution, a rule that presidents often ignore. They use it as a 60-day window to act, not as a requirement to consult. So the bottom line is that presidents can conduct military operations without Congress, yes, but traditionally it's limited to clear self-defense, like repelling a sudden attack. So over the years they've stretched it. Examples include Truman in Korea in the 1950s, Reagan in Grenada in the 80s, and Obama in Libya in 2011. And these presidents all acted without a formal declaration from Congress. Ultimately, I believe that this is about the executive branch getting too powerful. So whether you support the goal of catching Maduro or not, the process matters. So this trend normalizes presidential wars. So what's your take? Is this a necessary evil, or is it a scary power grab? Let me know about that down in the comment section below. And ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to express your opinions respectfully. And also I hope that you loved the video today, and I also hope that you extracted the highest form of value from this video. If so, don't forget to leave a like, and if you are new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. But as always, I hope to catch you all in the next one. Peace.